Okay, so last time we worked on accepting and sort of saying yes to everything, a sort of continual acceptance. Now let's explore the idea a little bit more specifically that improvisation needs limits, right? So often we feel terrified by exactly some of these tasks where there's a sense, at least in the prompt, to just dance, and it feels so much more enjoyable where there is a clear limit or rule that one is to follow. So I'm going to give 3 proposals to play with that hopefully are super clear and strict. So in this improvisation, we're still exploring improvisation. We're still exploring that spontaneity and that creativity. However, in this first little improvisation dance, I'd like you to only turn left, okay? So just turning left, and see what kind of dances can emerge when we are restricted by this kind of constraint, by a simple constraint like just turning left. So go away, dance for a bit, however you wish, in whatever way. There's no right, no wrong, music, no music, however you feel today, wherever you feel, and just turn left. Okay, hopefully you're not too dizzy. Maybe you can turn right for a little bit and feel that. I think what is really apparent for me in these limitations and why I find it makes sense why we sometimes have improvisations that are so broad, like Just Dance, for example, is because as you turn left, you start to realize not the impossibility, but the blurry wobbliness of its edge. Like, turn left, what part is turning left? Like, what does it mean? And how am I orientating that? Can I turn left in my body? At some point, does parts of my body have to turn right to adjust the body to be able to turn left again? Is it even possible to fully turn left? Like, what does it mean to fully turn left? Is the room not turning right? Does that not affect things? So there's this beautiful play that comes, and yet it is a clear, simple constraint, right? Like, only turn left. We all understand more or less that as a clear rule, like, okay, I know what to do. But the more we delve into it, hopefully, the more we discover sort of the detail and the richness of what is possible within that constraint. And this is the thing that I want to sort of emphasize, is that constraints are everywhere. We're always constrained. There's a relationship we have with those constraints that we can play with and find autonomy and beauty and freedom. And that's the weird thing. Like, I think it's Jean-Paul Sartre says something like, we can be free within a prison. And what he's speaking about is the freedom isn't something granted from outside. It's something that is internal to us. And so within our limitations, we can find freedom. But of course, we all recognize that to be put in a prison is not something that you would wish or desire for yourself. So there is a level of authoritarianism, maybe, or exploitation, or some sort of domination that we are trying to avoid when we speak about freedom and constraints. But it's a whole philosophical sort of opening, and we are simply exploring improvisation and improvisation's needs for limits. So this time, I'd like you to dance, but never repeat a movement, okay? So free improvisation, do whatever you want, but don't repeat a movement. Already, I feel the impossibility of the task, but try your best. That's often the beauty of improvisation practices, is they set up these very seemingly impossible scenarios, and yet if we engage in them with good faith, we can often find really beautiful moments and interesting pathways and qualities. So never repeat a movement. So how are you coping with the being alone, perhaps, listening to this and pausing, and also managing your own time and the strictness of these rules, and trying to improvise within the strictness of those rules? Do you find yourself cheating? Do you find yourself being a really harsh critic and policing yourself really harshly, or do you find yourself going with the flow and everything's cool? I think we're always in multiples of those different spaces, so let's just acknowledge them and then continue, because I have one more strict rule to try and follow in an improvisation, and this one is move only when exhaling. So as you're breathing, whenever you exhale, you move, and then breathe in and then move on the exhale, and that's it. So this one is a little easier than never repeat a movement, but still I think we'll find some interesting places there. So now take a moment, however you want, to dance, to improvise, to move only when exhaling. Okay, great. So, does the rule restrict or generate movement? Right? Like, is the rule restrictive or is it generative? Do we find new movements because of the restriction, or is the restriction causing us to not find as many movements as we could? It's such a beautiful palette to play with. Another question, when does the rule disappear? Like when as you're dancing, does the rule start to break, disappear, not become relevant? And who enforces the rule once you forget it? So if you forget the rule, how does it come back into your dancing? Is it a sort of forget, remember? Do you have another method? Do you have a recording where you repeat the rule over and over again in the recording so that you're always interrupted to remember the rule? Huh? Okay, have a think about that. And one thing to try, perhaps, if you can, to create a rule for your body, one rule for your body, and then create one rule for the space. Yeah? So think, have a play, have a consideration. Try and think of one rule, like the ones we've used today, moving only when exhaling, never repeating a movement, only turning left, something like that, something simple that you can have for your body, and then one rule for the space. And then improvise them both until the rules contradict each other. See if you can find those contradictions. And this is just a last sort of assignment maybe to go away with and to play with after. So that's it. Go away, create a rule for the body and one rule for the space, and improvise until the rules contradict each other. Thank you for today, and thank you for listening.